Italians are weird. Hello, internet fans. It's your old pal Rottin Roger DeMarco here from 3bproductionco.com. And this week, we're going to be talking about Claudio Fragrasso's 1990 film, Night Killer, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, or Do Not Open That Door. That one rolls off the tongue. I like that one. It's kind of weird that this would be called Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 in Italy. But either way, here is your plot synopsis. There's a masked killer with a razor glove hand going around killing super pretty nubile women. And that's about it. This killer is running around picking off beautiful women. And his last would-be victim, Melanie Beck, escapes, but she's traumatized from the events. And she can't remember the identity of the killer. There's a lot of stuff going on, but before we get into my overall thoughts of the film, first, let's take a look at
Rottin Roger's Splatter Facts.
We have 5 dead bodies. We have 4 titties. We have rad electro music. We have cup crushing. We have lewd phone calls. We have aggressive catcalling, which leads to aggressive stalking, which leads to attempted suicide, which leads to aggressive kidnapping.
Italians are awesome.
And we have my personal favorite, dick stabbing. Yeah, that happens. The methods of death include and are basically limited to punched through, Jason 7 style. A bunch of people get punched through. Falling off a balcony after having your throat slit and being punched through. And, let's keep it simple, gunshot. Okay, so now on to my overall thoughts of this film. I'm very new to this film, but this is going to work its way into my rotation because this movie is fucking wild. For those of you who don't know about this movie, we got some things to talk about. Melanie Beck is the latest would-be victim of this night killer. She escapes, but we're not sure how she escapes. She's just in a hospital. She can't remember who she is. She can't remember her family. She can't remember any details about the incident that put her in the hospital. It's not very clear how long she's in the hospital because it's sort of like a smash cut from her being in the hospital to her out cruising by the beaches. This dude, Cat, calls her and she tells him, stick it up your ass, and he follows her. She loses him and then humiliates him in a public restroom. Then she goes to a beach to commit suicide because she can't remember who she is or whatever it is. These Italian broads are crazy. You're crazy. And so she's on the beach guzzling down pills and drinking alcohol, and the stalker dude tracks her there and forces her to drink salt water and saves her life. Maybe it's romantic. I'm not sure yet at this point that, he's a weirdo that Cat calls and is messing with her, but then he saves her life and then takes her back home. But then the movie sort of switches gears into almost like a Misery-esque horror film. This dude has her held hostage and says, oh yeah, you're going to die, but you're gonna die on my terms, when I say you're gonna die. And totally brainwashes her, rapes her, and does all these weird things to her. All the while, there is this masked killer with a Freddy Krueger style fucking razor glove going around punching through a bunch of half-naked ladies in Italy or wherever the fuck this takes place. So we have this kidnapped subplot with the masked killer, and it's very sleazy. Weird Italian films where there is a bunch of nudity, there is a bunch of electro music, there's a bunch of weird dialogue. This is just a crazy movie from top to bottom. Some things that are strange about it that stick out is a little bit of the editing. There's a very weird opening title sequence with super rad electro pop music that seems exciting, and something exciting should be going on, but it's a father walking his daughter to school and then cutting back to Melanie Beck at home picking something to watch on TV while eating breakfast and drinking coffee. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's hilarious. But it definitely has the things that you're looking for when you watch an Italian film. You want that like almost neon red blood, that over-the-top color. It looks like a fucking Crayola paint. It's got that fun music. It's got a really cool look for a killer, actually, but the first time that I watched this, I was confused because I thought, is that supposed to be a monster? Because it's clearly a rubber mask. But then it is revealed that it's a dude in a rubber mask. Because at first I was like, that's some chintzy effects there. You're just phoning it in with that effect. But then I realized it was a dude who makes his own latex masks. There's some really weird musical choices that makes you feel like you're almost watching an episode of Law & Order. I can't tell you exactly when they happen, they just happen. And it's very confusing because you are watching an Italian sleazy horror film that is gratuitous in every manner, but you feel like it should be a courtroom drama and Olivia Benson should step in and expose a child molestation ring. It's a very odd choice for some of the music that does happen throughout the film. The man who kidnaps / saves Melanie Beck, there's some things that he does. This guy's a fucking lunatic. There's some things that he does throughout the runtime of the film. I mean, obviously they're terrible. This is a bad guy. But at the end of the film, which I'm not gonna spoil for you guys in case you have not seen this, and I want you to see this so we can talk about Night Killer. Things get sort of wrapped up in a neat little bow, and I call bullshit. I can't spoil them for you, but take my word for it. When you watch this movie, there's gonna be some times where you go, is that a thing? Does that happen? Why are they? Who? I'm not sure. I will say the Italian horror films are not much different from the American horror films. This one has one of my all-time favorite things with a lot of running and falling over nothing. These are well put together women, shall we say. They are athletic. There's no reason that these women fall when they run. That's what I'm getting at. Really, that's what we're doing? We're gonna just fall a bunch. It does sort of satisfy looking for different things in your horror movie. You don't want just a straightforward slasher, you want a little bit more. But this movie is ridiculous. It's a blast. I have questions. This is sort of like a bunch of different movies combined. You have a masked killer, and the mask is sort of a demon face, but the mask thing makes me think of, like a Jason or a Michael or even a Leatherface. But then this guy has like a molded, sculpted demon hand with really long razor fingernails. So obviously you have a little bit of a Freddy thing going on there. Without spoiling too much of the film, it sort of has a Halloween 4-esque ending, like a vibe like that. So it really feels like the Italians were taking notes of all of these elements. What makes these American slashers make so much money? And they were just checking things off. Okay, cool weapon.
Done.
Cool mask.
Done.
Weird ending. Open for a sequel possibly.
Done.
Tons of nudity.
Done.
Buckets of blood.
Done.
Just going down the list. And this is a movie that I hadn't heard about until Severin got the rights and put out the Blu-ray. So obviously it didn't work very well. I don't know. I don't know the following that this film has, but I can tell you this. It's a staple now in my library because it's so fucking weird. So in my personal opinion, this movie is 100% popcorn as fuck, because who doesn't want to watch a weird Italian dude in a mask with a razor glove punching holes through naked women while electro music plays? These are all the things that I love, and you probably do too. I can't recommend it enough. Night Killer is so fucking weird that you just have to see it to believe it. And you have to put this on your shelf and introduce this to all of your buddies so you can say, you won't believe what these fucking crazy Italian people did now. So if I have swayed you, click the link in the description and get a copy of Claudio Frgrasso's Night Killer today. Is that how you say it? Claudio Frgrasso. Like when I say it like that. Frgrasso. Sounds like a fucking marinara sauce. That's not racist. It's just what it sounds like. You would buy, it's like a fancy marinara sauce. Frgrasso's. Comes with a free razor glove with proof of purchase. Super rad, guys. Can't recommend it enough. But anyway, I suppose I should probably get going because after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not me, right?